Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. In the last episode, Amane made it out of the forest. Just barely though, after a few days after Kazuki nobly gave up her life in order to keep our former classmates away. Because they've all gone mad with hunger and lust and it's absolutely horrific. So, here we are back in the present day. Yuji said, "This is one hell of a story," and I have to agree. This was a hell of a story. We're not quite sure how he was going to react, but you know, it really does kind of explain some things with Amane. So, let's continue on, shall we? Let's not waste any more time. I raised my eyes from the diary, reflexively staring up into Amane's face. Her eyes are downcast, her mouth twisted sorrowfully.
ねえ、ユージは孤独って知ってる?
Cockroaches. From what I've read about them, they're incredibly durable creatures. They can last for weeks without food and sometimes cannibalize each other.
私はね、毒虫を詰め込んだ壺の中から生き残った最強最悪の毒虫なのよ。
I can't find anything to say. Words have failed me at a time where I needed them most. I'm so sorry, they must have been terrible. I've gone through something similar myself. No, I haven't. And I'd be an idiot to sit there and say otherwise. That comparison would be unfair. The paths we followed to that point were far too different. Even so, I understand. Thrown abruptly into a rain-soaked hell without adequate food, unable to imagine what tomorrow will bring, your physical and emotional strength are slowly whittled down. The ones wobbling on their feet have a week, the ones sitting 5 days, the ones lying down 3, the ones that can't speak 2, and the ones that can't blink will be dead before the sun sets. Yeah, at some point, you've lost the energy to dig graves for your companions. You sleep next to the rotting corpses of your friends. Hell on earth. Precisely because I understand, I have no words to offer her. I seek refuge in the tattered diary in my hands. Returning home as the only survivor of that horrific accident, my reception wasn't what you would call gentle. The media widely discussed the incident and its miraculous survivor, spicing up their articles with a barrage of thoughtless and downright cruel speculation. While never publishing my actual name, many twisted their limited information to suggest my survival had come at the cost of my humanity. I was the social problem of the hour. When I returned to school after recovering my physical strength, a classmate thrust a weekly magazine in my face. It was open to a gory photograph of the crash scene as it had been discovered. "Hey, this corpse. This is Haruka's face, isn't it? Poor girl. So tell me something. Why were you the only one who survived? Everyone else died. Why are you the only one who came back?" Of course, at that age, the gruesome and bizarre have an irresistible pull. At first, the words might have been nothing but curiosity, carrying no ill intent. At first, they might not have even realized their own casual cruelty. But that first question opened the floodgates. Soon, the entire class was hurling questions at me, mostly for their own amusement. "Hey, you ate them, didn't you?" Base speculation always runs along predictable lines. It's more interesting if she ate them, therefore she ate them. Better than titillating fiction than the complicated truth. Ate her friends, then came right back like nothing happened. How can she live with herself? Makes me want to puke. I wouldn't have done it in a million years. Same things are more important than staying alive. I'd rather starve to death than eat someone. Why doesn't she just kill herself? You know, all this stuff was easy to say then, but you know, they weren't in the situation we were, where survival will eventually take hold of even the most basics of instincts. And something gets lost along the way. Just seeing her face makes me lose my appetite. God, I hope she transfers soon. Soon they spoke with undisguised hatred. My denials fell on deaf ears, and I stopped even trying. In their eyes, I was a cockroach, a vicious, durable insect. Inside the confines of the killing jar, I had consumed my own kind to survive, and now I had crawled back to safety all alone. It quickly became impossible for me to attend school normally. Before long, a special classroom was prepared for me to study alone. The administration's attempt at resolving the problem was half-hearted and passive. Eventually, they isolated me from my classmates, leaving my former homeroom teacher to take care of any problems that might arise. But since their main concern was minimizing further disruption, the choice made sense, and fortunately, the teacher was a kind woman who offered me warm encouragement. "It's all right, as long as you're alive, you can start again. As many times as it takes, I'm here for you. I'll be here as long as it takes, so please keep trying, okay?" You know, her words pulled me through some of my blackest of days. She was right. My survival had come at the cost of many, many sacrifices. I had to keep going for the sake of those who had died and for the people who still believed in me. But eventually, I was made to realize that these innocent thoughts were founded on nothing more than childish naivete. Half a year after the accident, I moved up to the next grade in a new homeroom, and the teacher who had treated me so kindly abruptly stopped her little therapy sessions. Her attitude changed. The sympathy left her eyes. In the end, her kindness had been nothing more than the professional mask of an adult doing her job. That realization hurt me more deeply than any of the lies or insults ever had. After yet another day of isolated misery in an empty classroom, I returned home to find the words "cockroach nest" scrawled in huge letters across the side of my house. My mom was crouched beside the graffiti with a bucket and brush, tears in her eyes as she desperately tried to clean it off. Her teeth were tightly clenched, as if to keep the sobs inside. They'd made her cry. They'd made my stout-hearted mom weep as miserably as a child, hit by a wave of inexpressible, overwhelming sadness. I fell to my knees on the spot. Is other people's misery really that much fun to you? Their reality really had nothing to do with it. They weren't even trying to look at the truth. All they wanted was an interesting story. And my suffering seemed to be the highly entertaining to them. I could endure the slander and abuse, but at this rate I would end up becoming a blight on my own family. I simply couldn't take anymore. What did I survive for anyway? This? If I just died with everyone else in that valley, none of this would have happened. I wanted to turn back time. I wanted to go back into that ravine, to redo it all from the very start. I could see nothing in my future, so I fantasized about the past. Even so, I resigned myself to the present. I accepted the ridicule and ostracism of those around me. I'd stepped over the bodies of my friends to save myself. Surely I needed some punishment for that, right? Of course, no one was going to object to my suffering. It was the least I deserved. I could prostrate myself, weeping in front of my friends' graves, all I wanted. But no one was going to forgive me that easily. Until I had suffered more than those who had died, no one would approve of my continued existence. This was my punishment for surviving. I accepted it. I knew that I couldn't expect clemency. But even so, I desperately needed someone to give me the hope that it might end, that someday I might be forgiven. Self-loathing was my only means of atonement, and it was a feeble counterweight against the sin I was committing with every breath I drew. I was gradually driven into a corner. How wonderful would it have been to run away from it all, to shed the weight of what I had done, but that punishment for surviving was impossible to escape. I had no choice but to bear it. I tried to be strong. I tried to act cheerfully in the face of it all. But it was so very hard. The slightest smile on my face would inspire condemnation. How could she laugh after what happened? If I ran away from their words, they'd condemn that as well. My sin would never fade. Not for all eternity. You know, every once in a while I dreamed at night. It was always the same horrible nightmare. Always the same place, the depths of that hellish jungle. In the gloomy forest, the girls from the basketball club sat on the roots of trees, still and quiet. One by one, they slowly died. The corpses lay against the trunks of the trees, swelling up with gas like gruesome balloons. Their faces had been bloated from the start by their severe malnutrition. Soon it was impossible to tell where their eyes had been. Eventually their mouths creaked open and the gas inside their bodies began to leak out into the humid air with a sound like a ghastly moan. Before long, those faint sounds would become voices. Amane. Amane. Help me, Amane. I don't want to die, Amane. It hurts so much, Amane. Why only you? Why, Amane? Why won't you help me? Hey, Amane! I'd lost count of how many times I'd woken up screaming in the middle of the night. Going to sleep had become terrifying. But even awake, I could hear the voices whispering into my ear. The voices of my friends calling my name. When I turned back, there was no one. Even so, I heard the whispers constantly. The doctor's diagnosis was schizophrenia. Asleep or awake, someone was always cursing me. My guilt was ever present, crushing. I had no refuge. In time, I lost the ability to distinguish between reality and my dreams. Even awake, I screamed at phantoms. One morning, standing on the train platform, I was shoved from behind by a figment of my own imagination and fell hard onto the track below. I understood perfectly well that my own acclimated guilt had given me that push, but knowing did me no good. Sometimes I thought about just dying. But I couldn't commit suicide. If I took my own life, I'd be branded for all eternity as a coward who fled from the punishment her actions had earned. Maybe someone would be so kind as to kill me instead. Random violent death at another's hand might well be my only possible salvation at this point. If someone had killed me, I could escape without having fled from my responsibility. If someone would only punish me. Yes, that was it. Every time someone harassed or tormented me, it felt as though the weight of the sin on my shoulders grew just a little bit lighter. If I could live my life entirely for someone else's sake, maybe someday I'd be forgiven. But for that role, I needed someone who would punish me for the sin of surviving. So that when moments of happiness found me, when I laughed, I could simply offer a silent apology to the dead. I needed someone who would give me an excuse for when the voices whispered in my ear. I needed an answer to their resentful curses. See, I'm getting exactly what I deserve. I absolutely needed that. In the end, I wasted 6 years of my life waiting for someone who could bring me that hollow, self-serving comfort.
そんな時、私に罰を与えるのにふさわしい男が現れた。私を助けるために自分を犠牲にした風見一樹。その風見一樹の弟、遺族、それがユージだったんだよ。ずっと黙っててごめんね、ユージ。私はね、あんたのお姉ちゃんを犠牲にして生き残った惨めな卑怯者なんだよ。
Still staring into my eyes, Amane sniffles miserably. I see. My body feels as stiff and wooden as the words coming out of my mouth. It takes all my effort just to nod. I understand. Some sins can never be forgiven. No matter how many times we may apologize, the dead can never come back.
ずっと言おうと思ってたんだよ。謝ろうと思ってた。でも言えなかった。私ね、事故の後、一度だけ和樹の家に行ったことがあるの。家族の人には本当のことを全部話そうって思ってた。信じてもらえなくても、ひどく責められても構わない。でも一言謝りたいってずっと思ってた。でも 和樹の家には近所の人に話を聞いたら、1年も前にご両親が離婚されて、それからずっと空き家だって。離婚の原因は和樹が事故で死んだからだって聞かされた。私がユージの家族をめちゃくちゃにしちゃったんだって、そう思ったら怖くて言い出せなかったんだよ。
True enough, Kazuki's death was the catalyst of my parents' divorce. But what came after, the real disintegration of my family, that was inevitable. My father's death and mother's suicide were inescapable, fated events. Amane had nothing to do with any of that. In either way, making her into that scapegoat wasn't change the past.
だから、私がユージと初めて会った時、私は思ったの。私がユージからお姉ちゃんを奪ってしまったのなら、だったらせめて和樹の代わりになろうって。私なんかじゃ和樹の代わりにはならない。そんなのは私に都合がいいだけの逃げだって、そう分かっていても他にできることなんてなかった。だから何を言われても逆らわない、優しいお姉ちゃんになろうって、そう決めた。キスされるぐらいどうってことない。それ以上望まれても断るつもりはなかった。何をされても絶対に文句は言わない。ユージが望むなら何でもしてあげようって思った。別に処女をあげるぐらいどうってことない。どうせ一度は諦めた命だし、和樹の代わりに生き残った命だもん。私はユージの本当のお姉ちゃんじゃない分、本当のお姉ちゃんにはできないこともしてあげようって決めたの。
Hold on, Amane. I just want to make sure I'm clear on something. In other words, you approached me out of a sense of responsibility. Not any romantic feelings? Look, I'm not going to get angry about it at this point. That would be wasting my own breath. But give me the honest truth. I need to know.
正直に言うとね、別にユージのことは嫌いではないけど、好きというほどのめり込んでいるわけでもなかった。
God. I know Amane has been suffering all these years, and, I know it's selfish of me to think about my own emotions at this point, but that just hurts. That hurts.
そんな、大して好きでもないような男に、好きなように抱かせてあげて、都合のいい女でいてあげるのが私の罰だって、そう思っていたし、その程度、生き残った罰としては、全然軽いと思ってた。それでも、ユージに抱かれると、少し気分が軽くなったの。ユージに抱かれるたびに、ユージの欲望を満たしてあげるたびに、私は自分の中の罪が軽くなっていくような気がしたの。私にとってのユージは、後ろめたさを埋めるための道具でしかなかった。
I see. A convenient woman like that is obviously too good to be true. I was so blind, I should have seen it. So this is the source of the unease that I could never manage to shake. This is why I couldn't get rid of that lingering doubt, always squirming in the back of my mind. I don't know many women prone to falling in love with virtual strangers. Over time, I'd halfway convinced myself Amane was just a special case. But as I suspected from the start, there was something else behind all of that.
でもね、こんなこと言ってもきっと信じてくれないと思うけど、 私、ユージのこと、本当に好きになっちゃったんだよ。
How do I know that what you're saying is true? How do I know you're not just saying that because you know that any man would probably leave you at this point? How do I know she's not just trying to cling on to me desperately?
私は、もっと鮮烈な罰が欲しかったから、セックスの回数も増えたし、過激なことにも自分から挑戦した。でもね、いつの間にかユージに抱かれることで幸福を感じるようになっちゃって、それじゃダメなんだよ。それじゃ罰じゃなくなっちゃう。気がつけば沈静化していた悪夢とか幻覚とか幻聴がまた復活して、みんなが私を責めるんだよ。またお前だけ幸せになるのかって。もっとずっと強い罰が必要なのに、これ以上ユージを好きになっちゃダメなのに。どんなに好きになっても私の行く場所にユージを連れてはいけない。私一人で行かなければいけないのに。もうこれで最後にしよう。本当のことを打ち明けて、この人とは別れようって毎回そう思うのに。次の日の朝に目を覚ませば、もう一日だけ明日になったら別れを切り出そうって思うようになって、いつの間にかずるずると怖かったんだよ。何度もあんたのお姉ちゃんを見殺しにしたのは私だよって言おうと思った。そう口にしてしまいたかったのに。でもそれを口にすれば、きっとユージは私の前からいなくなる。きっとユージは私を孤独から生きて戻った不吉な女と蔑んで、あんた食ったのかって化け物でも見るような目で私を見るに違いない。そう思ったら怖くって、どんなに謝っても私が見捨てた和樹は生き返らない。だからごめんね。
So, in other words, she went in reluctantly, but now she's pretty much enjoying herself. In the first place, why are Amane's romantic feelings the first thing on my mind here? My sister, my family, all this is just a messy, ugly pain in the ass. In the end, I think I'm much more concerned about what comes next. At times like these, the fundamental strategy is to hear the woman's story and throw in a few vague responses here and there, but I think I may need to say something pretty soon.
ねえ、ユージ。
Yes?
私を殺してくれない？
What?
私はこんなことでしか罰を受けられない。こんなことでしか許しを得られない。だったらもうユージに殺してもらうしかないの。ごめんね。
I better not have to make a decision. What the hell are you talking about? Have you gone soft in the head? You expect me to kill someone who squeals like a piglet over a single chop to the head? Don't make me laugh.
ごめんね。
And that's another thing. Stop with the damn I'm sorry, will you? I can't stand that phrase. Those were the final words my mother left for me before suicide. Utterly empty, barren words of surrender. Every time I hear that phrase, I remember myself the way I was. I remember my failure, my inability to act, and my chest throbs painfully. First off, don't try and mimic Kazuki, alright? I only had one sister. She's gone now. Or what? Do you enjoy ripping open my old scars or something? This I'm sorry chorus of yours is putting me in a lousy mood.
ごめん。
I'm telling you to stop that idiot. I mean, weren't you Kazuki's classmate? Didn't she ever tell you to not say sorry so damn much? Very well then, allow me to increase your repertoire of phrases. Your mush-brained parrot, repeat after me. Thank you.
ありがとう。
Every time you feel sorry crawling up your throat, change it to thank you before it gets out of your mouth. That's your punishment. Don't even think about dropping your apologies on me, arbitrarily deciding you've been forgiven, and flying off into the night. Got that?
私、バカだからよくわかんない。どういうこと？
You really are a dim-witted woman, you know that? Oh, god damn it! How am I supposed to explain this? Christ, I'm just as dim-witted. Let me think for a while. You're a distraction, woman. Go sit on your heels and reflect on your idiocy. I'm gonna get my thoughts together.
正座で？
Sit.
ワン！
To be honest, so much just got dumped on me at once that my head can't keep up. What am I supposed to think about all this? First, there's Amane's past. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I don't give a shit. Really? Really? Well, he never was much for emotions. From what I read in the diary, she did nothing wrong. Kazuki's decision was understandable. You know, I probably would have done the same thing in her place. If anything, Kazuki's at fault for enjoying that nice heroic death, leaving all the messy, angsty business of surviving to her friend. For one thing, I'm still not fully convinced Kazuki would die as easily as that. But either way, that's not the problem. You know, the past is the past, nothing can be done about any of that now. You can spit out as many what-ifs and if-onlys as you want, but unless you're using them as a reference for next time, it's a meaningless exercise. The only thing that matters now is what we do next. Amane. Amane!
はい、なんでしょう？
All said and done, you love me, yes? Confirm or deny?
そう、ごめん。いや、
I heard that. I heard that, go man. Very well. Sit.
ワン。
You know, Amane says she loves me. So how about my own feelings on the matter? What do I think about all this? You know, I've thought them over many, many times. I'm pretty damn sure by now. I love Amane. Let's not mince words. I'm a bit ashamed to say it, but on a purely practical basis, I doubt there's another woman in the world as convenient as her. But do I really want convenience right now? Is that really all there is to it? As I fold my arms in thought, I find my eyes have come to rest on a beautifully folded work uniform. My job is pretty rough on the clothes. They snag on thorny bushes, rip against walls, and drag along the ground. More often than not, I come back with a number of holes in my uniform. It was only a few days ago that I realized that all those holes have been repaired. Out on a job, I happened to glance at the elbow of my uniform, where a torn seam had been neatly stitched back together. A colleague, noticing as I was staring up at the careful needlework, asked, "Your wife sewed it up for you?" And the words, "Oh, guess so," slipped out of my mouth. Like nothing at all. Startled by my own reply, I thought long and hard about what Amane was to me. While wearing the clothes she mended for me and stuffing my mouth with the lunch she'd packed for me, I pondered on the matter. What about Amane had I fallen in love with anyway? I mean, anyone can sew clothes and cook me lunch. But what was it about her that I wanted more than any other? Her looks? She was an attractive woman from any angle. The long hair and nice scent didn't hurt either. Maybe because she was so willing in bed? Well, another definite plus. You know, Amane never complained, and she was up for anything, anytime. But neither of those had much to do with it, really. You know, I can't express it too well, but for example, the way she mended my clothes without a word. and the lunch she always packed for me. Right. To summarize, she always did so much for me. Amane devoted herself to me. For a boring man like me, she did all that without even being asked. And that made me happy. Simple as that. You know, even if Amane had been unbelievably ugly, I would have fallen for her. By the same token, you know, whatever happened in the past, I'm not going to stop loving her. That feeling, that's not going anywhere. No matter what.
Nani?
Nothing, shut your trap, I'm still thinking. Still sitting ramrod straight on her heels, Amane's face droops like a pouting puppy given the command to wait. Watching her comically forlorn expression, I move on to consider the final problem. I could simply tell her, you're forgiven, on the spot, but there's no way that's going to resolve the issue. There's way, way too many demons in that head. If anything, my forgiveness might well inspire her to go looking for a new punishment, driving her to erratic, even dangerous behavior. In that case. Alright, Amane, the matter's been decided. On your feet. And we're gonna find out what his decision is in the next episode. So, take it easy, everybody.